Hey guys, I hope you're doing okay. I got my first full-size ballast song now. I think I might make a video cleaning it up a bit or customizing it or something, but that's not what this video is about. I made a new Baliscissor mechanism design in plastic in my last video. I decided to make a small-scale test to make sure things work before I spend a lot of effort into making scissors that don't work again. The new pins have flats, as well as these more complex sections that can't be turned on the lathe, so I have to make them in the mill. I have a 5C collet block, and I put a Tormach tool holder in it so that I can unscrew it and put the stock in and out without having to take the block out of the vise. The first step is to machine a step and the flats on the outside of the pins. Then I drill a hole, which I accidentally had the feeds and speeds set to the Autodesk defaults or something, so they were way too aggressive. Then I used this new cutter I have to cut grooves for the snap rings. Then I use a regular T-slot cutter to cut the other grooves. I drilled the hole just to the right depth so that I can snap the pin off with my fingers. This was the first time I attempted anything like this, so it really blew my mind how well it worked. I made the other type of pin next. I changed the speeds and feeds on the drill, but I didn't notice, because it's such a small drill, only 78 thou, that it actually changed colors a little bit. This pin has 2 grooves instead of 1, and it broke off easily. I wanted to make a few, and I ended up breaking that drill. It's crazy, you can actually see the stock change color slightly too. I managed to make a few, but I kept having a hard time finding a good drill recipe, so I moved on to other parts. For a stand-in for the blades, I just made a rectangle with the same cutouts the blades have. I made one of them with an undersized hole so I could press in a pin. And I tested what I had so far. Things kind of worked, but there was some confusing behavior it took me a bit to understand. I couldn't get the pin to pull through both ways. Look, I can push it through fine, seems like a good fit, but then I rotate it around to the opposite flat, and it won't go in. I can even put it in, then rotate it, and try to pull it back, and it won't go through. Weird. I made some button stand-ins while I thought about this. When I swept in XY0 on the stock, I got it in under 1 thou, but maybe that isn't good enough. Maybe the flats I'm cutting are being milled off-center or off-axis or something. So I switched to some oversized stock, and this time I machined around the entire outside of the profile. This way, the round sections can't end up misaligned with the flat sections. I tried my best to get the size as good as the ground stock I had. I found a better drill recipe, and then I did the rest of the machining as well. And I decided to go ahead and deburr the bottom in the machine too. And snap. To avoid any weirdness about using the pins to size the holes, I remade the blade rectangles as well, this time making sure they work with my new pins and on both sides of the flat. Also, I got a second little deburring tool for the bottom of smaller parts, and it doesn't seem to be a problem now. So let's see how they fit. And now they fit good. Okay, cool. I make the other pin, And then I make a few more parts for this test Baliscissors stand-in. I make some low-effort aluminum spacers. And then I make some handle stand-ins. I thought the quickest way would be to use the superglue method, but that didn't do as good as the last time I tried it. So I just made a quick fixture. I need the handles to be 65 thou thick, which isn't a lot to hold on to. So I hold it in the vise, but I only face a center section so that I can hold it without milling into the jaws. I also mill a pocket for the snap ring and bearing. Then on the fixture I can mill the outside. Let's see how it goes together. It doesn't work. When I pull on the handles, it doesn't open and close the scissors. But it's strange because I can do the opposite. If I hold on to the blade sections and try to open and close the scissors, the handles move along like they're supposed to. I made some more pins, but with larger grooves, just to make sure there wasn't a problem with the top of the grooves rubbing and getting stuck on the blades. It didn't fix anything. I even 3D printed this large model just to make sure that there wasn't something weird going on with my machining or the metal or something. But it has the same effect where I twist the handles and it just wants to twist the pin, but I move the blades and everything moves like it's supposed to. There's just some kind of problem I don't really understand, where the force vectors pulling on the handles only translates into rotating the pins in place, but moving the blade sections, it is able to translate the forces along so that it can pull the handles in the proper rotational direction. And I was afraid of this because I actually had this problem with those scissors I made where only one handle worked, where you can see I'm really opening them with the blades of the scissors, not the handles. It's a weird one-way mechanism. This is partly why I thought it would be good to do small tests first, I guess. It's hard not to find this discouraging, but I have lots of different ideas, and I'm not giving up yet. And I'm happy that I was able to pull off this new cool machining technique, and, I keep learning more and more things. And I'm gonna keep trying to continue to do that in the future. Stay positive. See ya.